This story didn't unfold slowly or quietly. It erupted suddenly and caught everyone's attention right away. Just moments after Papoose's name began trending online because of a complicated situation involving Claressa Shields, 50 Cent stepped into the conversation. And when 50 Cent gets involved, it's never subtle, never accidental, and always makes a big impact. With just one post, one caption, and perfect timing, 50 Cent flipped the entire conversation. What had started as rumors and speculation quickly turned into something closer to public embarrassment for Papoose. At least that's how most people on the internet saw it. Fans said it wasn't just what Papoose was accused of doing that pushed things over the edge. It was who noticed it. Because 50 Cent doesn't usually comment on things unless he sees something serious. Blood in the water, as people say. Screenshots of his posts spread everywhere very quickly. Blogs raced to figure out what he was implying. Comment sections exploded with reactions ranging from, "Oh nah, 50 Cent was wrong for this," to, "He just said what everyone was thinking." Even though 50 Cent never mentioned Claressa Shields by name, her name got dragged back into the drama again, whether she wanted it or not. That happened because of the timing of 50 Cent's post. The moment he put something out there, it made sure Claressa's name stayed connected to the story. What made this moment hit harder than others was 50 Cent's history. He has a reputation for turning other people's personal problems into public jokes. When relationships, loyalty, or image come into play, he never misses a chance to take control of the story and shape the narrative. Fans say that this post wasn't just a joke. It was a statement. A statement that took away Papoose's dignity in front of everyone and turned the whole situation into a warning for others. In the post, 50 Cent didn't name anyone directly or make clear accusations. Instead, he threw shade, which means he hinted or made indirect comments, enough for the internet to fill in the blanks and come to their own conclusions. And the scariest part, 50 Cent didn't even seem like he was trying hard. The moment he stepped into the conversation, everything changed. It wasn't because he gave any new facts or proved anything. It was because of the timing alone. Papoose was already under intense public scrutiny because of rumors involving Claressa Shields. Before the story could calm down or stabilize, 50 Cent posted what fans called a calculated move. It was subtle enough that he could deny having any bad intentions, but sharp enough to humiliate someone without ever naming them. At first glance, the post looked harmless. No direct callouts, no obvious references. Just a caption, an image, and that unmistakable 50 Cent style his fans instantly recognize. This kind of post doesn't openly accuse anyone. Hint. And that's exactly where 50 Cent shines, making a big impact with just a hint or implication. Within minutes, screenshots of the post were everywhere on social media. Bloggers and commentators studied every detail. The words, the emojis, the tone. People watched the post over and over, trying to guess who it was about. The online opinion came together quickly. This wasn't a random post. What made it hit so hard was the context. Papoose was already under fire because of rumors linking him to Claressa Shields. None of it had been confirmed officially, and no statements had been made by the people involved. But the rumors were loud enough to dominate social media feeds. In moments like that, appearances and timing matter more than facts. When 50 Cent posted at that exact time, people took it as intentional. Fans weren't wondering if he knew what he was doing. They were asking why he chose that exact moment. Comment sections were ruthless. Some laughed. Some felt uncomfortable or even cringed. Others accused 50 Cent of making the problem worse. But even his critics had to admit one thing. The post worked. It changed the story from confusion to mockery. From "what's really happening?" to "he's getting laughed at." That is the power 50 Cent holds online. He doesn't have to explain himself. He lets people read between the lines and make his point for him. Hip-hop culture plays a huge role in all this. 50 Cent's online persona is built around stepping into moments when others are weak or vulnerable, especially when things like masculinity, loyalty, or public image are at risk. He rarely attacks people who are steady and strong. Instead, he hits when someone is already shaky. In this case, Papoose was off balance in the court of public opinion. Whether that was fair or not, it made him an easy target. Fans quickly started comparing this moment to other times when 50 Cent did the same thing, using humor, irony, and strategic silence to embarrass someone without ever naming them. That's his formula. It works because it lets him deny bad intentions later. If confronted, he can say, "You're reading too much into it." But everyone knows better. The internet knows better. What made this moment especially harsh was how Claressa Shields got pulled back into the conversation. Even though 50 Cent didn't mention her, the timing made sure her name stayed connected to the story. Some fans accused him of dragging her into drama she didn't ask for. Others said he was only commenting on Papoose's behavior, not on Claressa. But when someone as famous as 50 Cent posts something like that, the spotlight widens, whether people want it or not. Papoose didn't respond. No clapbacks, no hints, no explanation. His silence only made the story of humiliation stronger online. Fans debated whether he was being mature by staying silent, or if he simply knew that replying would make things worse. With 50 Cent, replying is a trap. Everyone watching knows that if you respond, you've already lost. Commentators began to say this wasn't just about relationships anymore. It was about respect in public. In hip-hop culture, being laughed at in front of everyone can hurt more than any direct accusation. And 50 Cent's post gave people permission to laugh at Papoose. That's what hurt most. Not the post itself, but the fact that it gave people a green light to mock him openly. Some fans pushed back hard, calling the move unnecessary and mean. They reminded everyone that nothing had been officially confirmed, and that humiliating someone publicly over rumors crosses a line. But those voices were drowned out by memes, reaction videos, and 50 Cent's huge influence online. Once he sets the tone, the internet follows. As this first part of the story unfolded, one thing was clear. This wasn't about truth or clearing things up. It was about power and timing. 50 Cent didn't create the controversy. He didn't confirm anything. He didn't explain anything. He simply stepped into the moment and twisted it in his favor, turning confusion into public entertainment. That's why it felt humiliating. Not because of what was said, but because of who said something without actually saying anything. The real fallout, however, hadn't even started yet. Once the initial shock wore off, the conversation didn't calm down. Instead, it changed. Because after 50 Cent's post did its damage, people stopped focusing on what Papoose was rumored to have done. Instead, they started focusing on what it meant that 50 Cent was comfortable publicly stepping on him. That's when the humiliation story got stronger. Not because new facts came out, but because people started questioning Papoose's status. Fans began asking uncomfortable questions. When was the last time 50 Cent mocked someone without a reason? Why this time? Why now? And what does it say when someone with 50 Cent's reputation chooses to make you his target? In hip-hop culture, that moment matters a lot. It shows vulnerability. It tells the world that whatever respect someone had might now have cracks. The post itself continued to circulate. People kept looking at every detail, the caption, the emojis, the tone, even the picture or lack of one. 50 Cent's history made every little detail feel like it was planned. Fans remembered how 50 Cent has taken down careers before with less effort, using humor as a weapon and timing as his blade. This wasn't about laughing with someone. It was about laughing at someone. The situation with Claressa Shields remained in the background, but she was no longer the main focus. She became context, not the main story. The focus moved to Papoose's image. As a married man, a public figure known for loyalty and self-control. That image was quietly being taken apart, not by accusations, but by ridicule. And ridicule hurts differently because it sticks longer. Accusations fade away, but jokes and laughter linger. Social media played a huge role here. Once 50 Cent posted, other accounts followed. Meme pages jumped in. Reaction videos exploded. People who hadn't been following the rumors before now felt free to comment. That's how humiliation spreads. Not through proof, but through permission. 50 Cent didn't have to say Papoose's name. Everyone else did it for him. Papoose's silence became a big topic. Fans debated whether he was being mature or if he simply didn't have a good answer. With 50 Cent, there's no winning reply. Clap back and you make things worse. Ignore it and the jokes grow. Silence can seem dignified, but it can also look like giving up, depending on who's watching. And audiences usually don't give the benefit of the doubt. Some voices pushed back harder during this phase. They said 50 Cent's involvement was irresponsible. They said he turned unproven rumors into a public show. They questioned why Claressa Shields was dragged back into a situation she hadn't publicly talked about. Those points were valid, but they didn't get much attention compared to the entertainment value. Outrage doesn't spread as fast as humor. What made this phase darker was how quickly the story lost any subtlety. Allegedly, disappeared from the captions. If true, disappeared from the commentary. The situation became shorthand, a joke. That's when damage to reputation really starts. When complexity is replaced by a simple, mocking story. Papoose wasn't being talked about as a person anymore. He was a moment, a punchline. Industry insiders quietly said this kind of public teasing can have lasting effects. Not because it proves anything, but because how people see you affects your chances. If you're seen as unstable, messy, or a joke, people treat you differently behind closed doors. And when someone like 50 Cent sets the tone, that perception spreads far beyond social media. As the second phase went deeper, it became clear this was more than a joke or a post. It was a shift, a sign that the story had crossed from rumors into social judgment. Whether that was fair or not, the line had been crossed, and going back is almost impossible. The most unsettling part: none of this needed proof. All it took was timing, silence, and one perfect post. By the third phase, the damage wasn't getting louder. It was getting deeper. The jokes slowed down. Memes peaked. And what settled was something far more dangerous for anyone in the spotlight. A new default way of thinking about you. Because once a story moves from shock to shorthand, it stops being about what actually happened. It becomes about what people assume when your name comes up. That's where Papoose was now. After 50 Cent's post finished spreading through social media, the story quietly locked in place. Not officially, not factually, but culturally, people stopped asking for updates. They started repeating conclusions. And that's when humiliation becomes structural. Doesn't need new content. Keeps itself alive through repetition. What stood out most during this phase was how little anyone needed from Papoose to keep the story alive. His silence, once neutral, became symbolic. Some saw it as maturity. Others saw it as avoidance. But online, silence rarely exists without meaning attached. When there's no clarification, the loudest interpretation wins. And in this case, the loudest interpretation was shaped by 50 Cent's involvement. Because 50 Cent doesn't just comment. He changes the meaning of the story. Once he enters a situation, it stops being a rumor and starts being entertainment. And entertainment doesn't care about fairness. Cares about how much it sticks in people's minds. The idea that Papoose had been played, embarrassed, or exposed became easier to repeat than the truth, which was still unclear. Claressa